Good afternoon and welcome back to Planner Craft. Well, good evening really, depending on what time zone you're in. So if you were with us this morning, you saw me go through some pretty standard pencils and also take you through erasers. And I wanted to finish off the stream by going through something that's a little bit more different. But I thought, in case anybody hadn't seen this morning's stream, I thought I'd quickly go back over things. So we went through pencils from 9H to 9B, including F in the middle. And then we went through and did some shading, using just the ordinary pencils. So now moving on from that, I wanted to start to bring in a few different things. So this is a Koh-i-Noor pencil, and it's one that I like to use for sketching. So you can be quite loose with it, and you can just build in just some structural lines, gestures. And it's not there to shade with necessarily, it's there to form your basis, and you're being quite loose with it. So, but of course you can still do all the things that you would do with a normal pencil, but you have a thicker lead, and you can still get it in different softnesses and or hardnesses depending. And it's just that bit looser, so if we want to go and do some, let's say fabric, and we've got a bit of a ruffle going on. So if we want to show some fabric going, swooshing out from somewhere, we can start to do that with our pencil, and then we can still build in shade where we want to start to suggest form. Okay.
We have Hayley and Sarah at the moment joining us.
Hi Hayley, hi Sarah. And of course, because our fabric has a form, it's going to have a bit of shadow down here. And you can even still do all your cross hatching. Let me know if that's not quite dark enough for you. And all the other effects that you could use with a normal pencil. So your cross hatching could suggest like a fine net, so we can do a weave, and we can start to actually do a few squiggles over the top to suggest lace. It's very much a kind of gestural pencil, this one, and if you're looking for something that's kind of similar, the closest that in a pencil is the Derwent sketching pencil. So you've got that big old lead, but it still doesn't have quite the same feeling, but you can kind of get there eventually. Another good pencil to have is the outliner. It's actually part of the Inktense range by Derwent. But the benefit of this one over a normal pencil is if you're watercolouring, it doesn't muddy your colours. So that's quite a good one to keep in your stash. So that's a Derwent Inktense outliner. It has a code of 2400.
Your mum is watching.
Hi Mum. And it works out roughly about a H. So you won't get a black out of it, but actually that's, if I do that, yeah, that's probably about the darkest you can get it. So if we were to compare that to, let's say, our 9B, you can see the difference. But if we were to then go over that with water, the 9B would smudge. Yeah, I know what. Okay, so I've got this kind of gestural stamp image here. So I wanted first of all to do it with some gestural pencil lines and so forth. And then I've also stamped it onto some mixed media so that we can look at some water-soluble pencils too.
Water.
Yeah. So I'm going to start off by, again, we're going to mark out our darkest area. So in here we have a little bit of a passageway. So, and we can start to just literally scratch in some shadows. This isn't about doing all nice neat gradient, it's literally about just going in there and scratching it in. As I said, this is very much a kind of gestural tool, it's not there for shading. So if we picture that the light's coming from over our right hand shoulder, this side here is going to be nice and light, whereas this side is going to be in the dark, so we can actually start to just shade. And same here, we'll go over this one again. And here we'll actually want to go darker. So you see, even when it's at its darkest, it's not going to be black. And again, we've got a bit of a gap where it's facing towards us. And we can do the same on this side. So this side is dark. We'll leave that light down the end. And again, we can go in. Shade over there. So I'm just going to go into the windows. As before, make sure that it's darker at the top. Okay, so this little bit that goes off here is facing us, but this bit continues on this same perspective, so that would be greyed out too. And again, we've got a little balcony here, so you want to put a little bit of shadow underneath, and again here. But then this little section here is actually on the same face as this one, so I want to keep that light. And then again, this section is going to go dark. And you can see I'm being really loose because I want to match the style of the image that I'm shading in here. And finally, we'll just pop a little bit up here. And because our image fades out, we don't have to worry too much about where our edges are. And I'm just going to, again, scratching a bit of shadow there, a bit more there, a bit more in this little section here, and again underneath here. And you can see it's really loose, and you don't want to overly complicate. So anything that is following on that trajectory, you know, needs to be dark. Anything that's flat to us needs to be light. And we can then start to work on just picking out a few of the details. So our bridge, we know it's going to be fairly light because it's on that same plane. So if we work under here so that we pop it out, I'm just going to put the slightest bit just underneath that ridge, just so we get the feeling that there's definitely a structure to it. I'm just going to continue that shading down, and then down under here as well. Remember, your buildings would reflect in your water. And finally, you want the water to get darker towards the back of the image and come lighter towards you.
Doreen's just joined us.
Hello Doreen, thank you for joining us. I'm just doing some gestural shading. And this is all about just creating that illusion of there being water. And down here, same again, you would have a dark area and it would fade out. Now into our boat. We just do a little bit of shading just to suggest the rounded form. This one is definitely artistic license. Again, so put some shading in there. Remember, anything that's dark will recede. So if you want to make something pop, put some shading around to suggest the layers of the image.
And Mary's back.
Hello. Okay, so there's our gestural shading, and it's quite quick to do, so if you've got an image that is quite loose, that's actually quite a good one to do. So the lead on this pencil is about 3mm to 4mm, so you're looking at something that's quite big to play with. There is actually a pilot one that you can get, which is the Croquis pencil. CROQUIS. I'll get Ian to put it in the comments. And that's even bigger. And it's perfect for doing this sort of thing. But it's a 6B, so that one will go much, much darker than this.
How's for that one?
CROQUIS. Just going to put a bit dark there just to make that top bit pop
And you said
back.
it's pilot, did you say?
Yeah, it's pilot. Okay. So that's my gestural one. Now,
Xena is here.
hello Xena. I have some water-soluble pencils. Now these come in a couple of formats. So I have some Dermot sketching ones that are washes. So we have a light wash, a medium wash and a dark wash. And then we actually have a water-soluble graphitone. So this actually has no wood in it, so it's literally a stick of graphite. So we can literally go straight in onto our mixed media paper. And we start with our darkest areas first. And you can see we can get nice and dark. Okay. And I'm going to go into there. I'm just going to pop a little bit of shade in there just to show that this will walk through just there. Just going to help make sense of that visually. And the same here. Now if you wanted to, you could actually move where your light comes and you would actually change that image dramatically. So if instead of having the light coming this way, we can actually have it coming that way, which means that these sides would be in light, but all this would be in the dark. Okay?
So Mary says, wow, that is amazing. Could never do that, but I like watching.
Yep, you can do it. You just got to play and be willing to play and make mistakes, because at the end of the day, mistakes don't matter. Don't matter what is it, a piece of paper and a bit of ink. So you just move on and try again. Okay, so I'm going to go in here. And do these roof areas. And let's think, if I go that way, I catch the edge of that building, so I'm going to just put a little bit in there. Just going to put the doorway through there just to make it look a bit different. That's better. So these bits here would be dark, and then this section here would also be dark. Now you can see I'm not putting anywhere near as much pressure in through this section because I still want to have some detail. And until you wet it, you can still at any time go back and use your eraser. Okay, so we're saying light's coming this way. So where this building comes here, I'm just going to lightly shade that so we can see that there's a difference. And same here. And same here. And the rest of these are all on playing apart from this section. And here. So far so good. I'm just going to go in with a light wash, and I just want to go and put any detail through our light sections with this. So I'm just going to go into this section. Remember what I said about windows, always a bit darker at the top. Just helps them to actually recede into the building and make it look like they're actually part of the building rather than just sticking on the surface of the wall. And just dot a little bit in there. Just add a bit in there just to knock that bit back. And again we can do that just with this one in the distance. So you want to put some in the windows. And then down this side the windows will be nice and dark. Okay. Next I'm going to take my paintbrush and let's go for, that might be a bit too fine. I'll go to the trusty old usual one if I can find it. It's hiding. Come on. There we go. So I'm going to go back to my number 10 round brush. Just dampen it. And you don't want too much water to start with. I'm just going to work around these areas. So at this point it becomes almost more like watercolour. So we know that this bit's on the same plane, so we can actually start to drop just a little bit of that grey back in there just to make that pond stand out a little bit. And we can put some colour around this bottom section. This is stamped in waterproof ink, by the way, so you wouldn't want to do this with just an ordinary dye pad. And I can start to work over here, and I'll come back and I'll put a bit more of lead in these windows and shade under that roof section. And do these windows up the top. So I'm just literally dragging that graphite downwards. Now where you have an edge like that, just wash your brush, and then I just have a little bit of bamboo sheet just blocked off the water, and then we can start to soften this out just because there isn't a hard edge to this stamp. Okay. Into the water again because you only want a very, very slight damp brush to do that bit. I'm just going to go back into this section, down here, into this back panel. You want to drag it down through to the bridge. And then here. And finally up into this corner. Same again, clean the brush, blot it out, and we're just going to fade that edge. Everybody think we live by the beach.
Very secrets. That Mary's back. She lost the link again, apparently.
Oh dear. I'm just gonna do these little roof sections where we had a bit of stronger colour, finally. And we can just touch that in. Okay. So while that's drying, I'm going to start to work on my water a bit. So I'm going to go in with our light wash first. And I'm just going to follow the same squiggles, like so. Now this one's got a really basic reflection, but I will do about reflecting rubber stamps on another stream.
They're looking for sausage roll.
Huh?
Seagulls. Looking for sausage roll.
Ah. You look around here, they don't last long enough.
Long gone.
Okay. Then I'm going to go up to my dark wash. So each time you are using a darker pencil, your area shrinks. So this one, I'm literally just going to do a small triangle at the top. And this just basically will blend it in. I'll just do a little bit around here as well, just to blend it into this shoreline. Okay. Am I going too quick for anyone?
Are you doing alright?
So I'm just going to drag this colour out. So as you can see, I'm wiggling my brush the same way as the squiggles go. So wiggle, wiggle, wiggle a bit further, wiggle a bit further, and wiggle down that end. Then we'll go back and we'll join up this line at the top. So you get real deep, 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 deep shading where it joins the vertical surface, and we can go right down here. Just going to go round underneath here as well. There we go. Now what I'm going to do is I'm just going to go back to my sketching pencil, because I just want to do something similar down here, but I want to sketch it out first. So if ever you're not sure about something, you can just use your pencil just sketch it out. Make sure you're happy. So I want that to come more like that, I think. Okay. So remember how we said that we can use our putty rubber to lighten our lines? That's what I'm going to use.
Diane's just joined us.
Hello Dan. So I'm just going to use my putty rubber to just move out that shading a bit. So I still have a reference as to where I'm going. So hopefully you can still see that. But it's not going to be visible when we put our wash over the top. Okay. So I'm going to go into my light wash because it's coming towards the front. So at this point you only want it to be light. And we'll copy the same kind of shape here. Draw under our boat first. So it beds into the water. And we're just going to blend that out. Like a little squiggle. Okay. And again, I'm just going to put a little bit just down here.
Audrey's watching too.
Hello, Audrey.
And Alison too.
Okay, so I've blended that just underneath there. Finally, I'm going to go with my medium wash. Just go in here and then do the same as what we did on our sketching one, where we actually made different bits pop out just by where we applied our shadow. Just want to soften that area where we applied the graphite so you get a nice gradual blend, and we can start to be a bit more sketchy around these sections before reaching right into a dark section at the back. And I'm just going to pop a little bit extra just round there, just so we get the feeling that that boat is in front of the other one. I'm actually quite happy with that. I think I might leave it there. So, before we leave, any questions? It's all a bit quiet tonight.
It is. It's been very quiet. That's all right.
Everybody's getting tired.
Yeah.
I know we are.
Happy?
Yeah.
Yeah, we
If
got no
nobody has
questions.
any questions.
No. No questions tonight. Peaceful night tonight.
As normal, I'll pop a photo up on the group and the page of the two finished drawings, so you can have a bit of a closer look at them.
And we're back tomorrow with...
We are back tomorrow with coloured pencils in the morning, and then we have put my teeth in. Affinity Designer versus Illustrator doing text. So we'll be looking at some interesting tools that we can use to manipulate text with.
Okay. Did you draw the picture? No, it's a stamped picture, isn't it?
Yeah, the image is actually from Rare Earth. If I can pull out this stamp. There we go. So it's a lovely collection, this one. So, got a good range of styles. So this one is really sketchy, which is this one. Then you've got one that's really kind of architectural almost. So if I put that on there, which is this one. And then we have a few others like the gondolas, and we even have a olive branch. And a couple of masts, which is why I wanted it. I wanted it for the masts, I barely use them. But I'll get round to it one day. Maybe when we do the coloured pencils tomorrow.
Yeah, so we're back at 11 tomorrow.
Yes. Yes.
Yeah.
11 for the coloured pencils, 2 o'clock for the affinity, and possibly 6 o'clock if I run out of time in the morning.
Yes. And I said, thank goodness I can cope with that. See you tomorrow. So
Don't be afraid to pop up your attempts on the group. They're a very friendly bunch.
They are.
So.
Right.
Yep.
Right, so thank
We'll
you
see
all
you
very
tomorrow.
much, and we shall see you all hopefully tomorrow. Bye.